hit that subscribe button. Let's get started.
Well, hello. It's 9:30. I'm on this live again. I'll wait for some of you guys to get here and we'll do a little hangout. And if nobody shows up, I'll just talk to myself like I always do. When y'all get here, let me know. Drop them comments. And we'll discuss it. You bring it, we'll discuss it. Ladybugs84, thanks for stopping in. We'll get a little bit of time. Hey, it's always one of those things where, hello, Ruby for Justice. Have I seen you guys today or something? You know, we're always doing something around here. I was just over on Ted's Investigates for those of you who are showing up and saw me over there. I don't have anything major planned. I think most of all of us have seen different news today. We've been following each other around and chasing everybody. Hello, Smarties Crafts. We'll give a little bit of time. There'll be maybe some other friends show up and maybe they get the notification that we're here live. I can't see all of my chat over here. Let me fix this. If I can figure out where I'm at. I don't plan on going till 4 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning again. I slept till 10 o'clock today, y'all, and I've been messed up all day. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. It's a come and a go, and, bring the discussion. We'll talk about it. But for the most part, we all seen what occurred at the Derek Colella court case today. He got 5 years probation and was sent immediately to rehab type thing is what his thing was for. Hello, Ms. Michaela. Hey. So, for the most part, we all know about that. But I was interested to see, and thank you, Smarty, for stopping in from over at Ted's stream there. I beat you up. I haven't done that in a long time. A couple of weeks anyway. I'm usually up by at least 8 o'clock, But today, 10 o'clock it was. Of course, I went to bed a little pissed off, I might say, after last night's stream, and I'm going to work on fixing that, all that good stuff. Analyze that, Doug. Just saw you over in Ted's stream also. And I think I saw you today earlier in some of the other streams. So, just to hang out. You know how we do it around here. There's no use in just keep talking about the same old stuff. So, y'all bring the subject and we'll talk about it. I got to figure out how we're going to do that there. Bringing people on and all that good stuff, because it's just strange that none of the stuff that has occurred in those areas where they're just openly posting stuff. I guess people just love me enough more that they just want to be here and just spam the crap out of me. So Micah says, Ted, I don't play on that EAM. Hold on, I got to get out my decoder ring. I'm sorry. Ladybug, it was bad. It's when you post your open link to your stream, out in the open. Anybody can come into it, and they just spam it, and it locked up my stream so bad. And we were at like 5 hours and 30 minutes last night, I believe, on the stream whenever this occurred. So it happened right whenever someone come in and all that stuff, and I accuse them of being the one who did it and all that stuff. I publicly apologize to Sikorsky if she decides to come back out. Yes, Doug. I mean, to say 3:30 in the morning in the UK. Well, I appreciate you staying up and just hanging out with us and just getting a feel from over here across the pond. But yeah, someone did ruin it. And again, I blamed on Sikorsky, and I'm sorry, and I apologize to her publicly on X, on here, on there, on yonder, everywhere I went. I've been apologizing because that's the right thing to do. And it just happened to be whenever she came in. I've never met her, didn't know her, so some other people vouched for her and brought her in and all that stuff. And unfortunately, it happened, and then it infuriated me that this has happened again. So, it probably, well, it had to have happened right, because I know you were at 1%. So, it had to have happened right around that same time. So maybe it was whenever your hearing aids died or something. Maybe it's your phone that died. Maybe you're the one. Ladybugs. Just saying. I'm just kidding. I don't want nobody to think that I'm saying that about you either. So again, I apologize to her. We do have mods, and I don't have a problem bringing some more on. It's just one of those things where it's just crazy. Yeah, so I feel everyone's on the same page. Chris just said the same thing. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing whenever you talk about new stuff coming out, and then you're able to discuss stuff. Yeah, I know that's the way JLR does it. But I've tried that, but nobody seemed to want to do the email thing. So whenever I get the link, then I'll give it to one of the mods, and then one of the mods can send it out to people. And that's why I asked y'all to, doing the Discord thing would be sort of like doing it in public also type deal. So I don't want to do it that way. It's got to be a direct message to the individual person who's asking, and then you send it to them individually. But still, it's a trust thing and all that stuff. And, it'll just take time to figure it all out and figure out how to keep it secure and all that stuff, because whenever I don't send it out, it doesn't happen type thing. So, again, I'm not planning on doing a long stream tonight. We may go till midnight here, just hanging out, and depending on if you guys want to just hang out. But for the most part, it is what it is. We'll let the flow tell us. Well, daggum, Peg. It's about time you stayed awake and visited with us. Again, I didn't know Sikorsky, so unfortunately, I was just going off the thing. And then whenever Adam said, not that I don't trust you guys, but whenever Adam said something about Sikorsky and he vouched for her also, then, I was like, okay, maybe I was wrong. But by then, all hell broke loose, and I was fired up. And y'all know how I get when I get fired up. So, yeah, no big thing. But now I am using whenever y'all, again, when y'all see all this stuff on the screen, then I'm using the Stream Labs. And I I didn't even think about clicking the talk radio instead of this. So, well, thank you, my buddy Cindy. That's the first time I ever got to talk to Shibby, and I just wanted to get a chance, and I knew he could answer those questions, and especially whenever he was talking about it, I was like, yeah, I need to go on and ask him about it. So, yeah, I believe I have seen Sikorsky now on other people's streams and all that stuff, just based on literally less than 30 seconds into her appearing on the screen. I clicked the button, brought her on, then all that stuff happened, and I'm like, y'all know that it happened the last time, same way with someone else, and it just, I was pissed. I was damn mad. And so it is what it is. Yeah, we do. We got to learn from them. As long as we learn from them, then that was the purpose, right? So, send a newcomer. She's in the chat, folks. Yeah, does anybody want to phone call in? I got the phone lines, If anybody has the number and wants to call in, or do people want to come on stream, or what do y'all want to do? I don't have no problem letting y'all come on stream. So, Mike asked, what was the final outcome of Kalela's verdict? He got 5 years probation. He pled to the lesser charge of something. We don't know precisely unless somebody does know that. Peggy, Walking Encyclopedia, should be able to tell us. But he got 5 years probation, and he was immediately sent to rehab because he said he was on drugs when he did that, and he called them and was just trying to troll them. I have not watched Monks. I think somebody had it in something today, a little parts of it, but I haven't watched the full thing. It's something that we could watch. Teresa, if anybody wants to watch it. Thank you, Johnny. Is it Johnny or Joni? Joni? No, that'd have an A in it, wouldn't it? Johnny? I think I'll go with Johnny. Whichever it is, I hope, however I call you, you don't smack me. I don't get a chance to come over here often, but when I have, you've been awesome. I'm sorry you're having such a bad time. I'll be praying for you, brother. Lots of love to you, my man. I appreciate you. Again, it's one of those things where, maybe if nothing else, I can be that example to all you guys that are interested in start your own YouTube or doing this sort of same thing, of the things that can occur. All kind of stuff can occur. If people have your stream link and all that stuff, they can spam you. And again, the mods last night, they dropped it into our Discord direct messaging to me to show me what had occurred and who came in and all that stuff. So they copy and pasted it, sent it to me. So I was able to see it this morning when I woke up, and that's when I realized, okay, it's possible that it wasn't Sikorsky and all that stuff. But so it's one of those things where, do you buy that Kalela outcome? I've said for a little while, I didn't think he had no actual involvement in it. I think, and again, only because I know as soon as the thing came out that he was able to get their phone numbers off the internet, bam, I went and Googled to see if I could find it. And sure enough, I was able to get their phone numbers, and I saw them on there before they took them down publicly. I've seen their phone numbers, but I chose not to text them or call them and say, hey, you got the Bitcoin? Whereas he did. And it was a dumbass move for sure. Especially in the middle of a federal, well, he's the one who made it go federal, to be honest with you. But at the same time, had she been taken to Mexico, then it would have been an international federal crime. But had she crossed state lines, it would have been a federal crime for taking a body if she was deceased at the time. So there's that chance of all that stuff could have been a federal crime at any time during that case. But whenever he did it from California and contacted California, from California to Arizona, and called them or texted them trying to extort them out of money by doing what he did. So that's what made his a federal crime. That's why it went federal, because it was in the commission of an interstate commerce, using the phone for interstate commerce in whatever it was. I don't remember the charge right off head. So, but I don't think he was involved. I know there's a lot of stuff that came out in the beginning, and I'm pretty sure I've been consistent in my statement that I do not think Colella is involved, as much as I say I think Annie and Tommaso is involved. For the record, I think it was them. And I haven't changed in that statement at all. Nobody has shown me anything that says otherwise. Yet understandable. Something about nuisance charges. Those were on the other, those are on the streamers. Monk's newest is a members only video, I think, says Peggy. I haven't checked into it. Somebody can verify that. And, well, I'll go look it up. I got a computer right in front of me, right? Y'all just hang on a second. Let's see. Oh, we were having fun. We were watching the damn camera from New Orleans last night, just having a hooting good time and just talking things over, and bam, got hit. Got hit with a bunch of spam and it shut me down. I mean, it locked my computer up. Like, totally locked it up. I couldn't do nothing. I had to just shut it down. Couldn't turn the stream off. And I didn't know if I was sitting there, going to pick my nose and go, what the hell's going on here? So I had no choice but to shut my computer down. I got it all fired back up and then tried to come in a different way. And my cameras were still stuck to the stream. It wouldn't let me go on my camera, wouldn't let me turn it on, my microphone, all that stuff. Because I went back and saw the actual video today, because it uploaded that second video with nothing on it, just my background screen or something from the other site. And then I eventually got it to come on by switching back over to the original software. And I made a damn 10-minute rant video that I decided I'm going to delete that shit forever this morning, because I know how some of those people are. Yeah, Monk's videos are not showing. The latest one was 2 days ago. It's called Nancy's Plants Will Prove That It Was a Different Night or something, maybe. I have not watched this. Is that what we're talking about? Anybody in the chat tell me? Is that the video we're talking about? Team Tomato? Hell no, I'm team a whole damn salad. Both of them are involved. And again, I've been on the record on my videos, I guess you could say. You still got to prove to me that Savannah is not involved. I've made it statements before that if you look at the guy coming down the driveway with them, her security detail guy, why does he look like a porch guy? A lot. In the clothing, his style of clothing, his dress, his shoes, all that stuff. Prove to me it's not him. Yeah, September is sentencing. Gosh, I'm having to go way back up because you guys are just killing it in chat, of course. Okay, I made it back up to where I was at. I thought they said on JLR that Colella got 2, which would mean 10 years probation with immediate rehabilitation as of today. Wow. We must have heard wrong. And that's quite possible. I think the original, it was 5 years per each charge for what he was originally charged with, and he took he changed his plea to accept a 5 year and rehabilitation. So to avoid a 10 year by getting, if he was found guilty on both counts, he would have got 10 years, and it may not have been probation, but he pled guilty and took a 5 year probation instead of jail time plus rehab. And I saw the question down there earlier. Supposedly he was on meth. So that was my understanding. Yeah, it's very good. Makes you wonder, why did they send 2 ransom notes? The reason being, if one is going to benefit from the monies, they will be able to sell or do anything with the house now. Yeah, those are some tough questions to answer there for sure. So harassment use a telecommunication device was the charge. Today was a recommendation. September is the sentencing. There you go. Listen to Analyze Doug. Then he would return in September for hearing. Colella pled guilty to interstate telephone harassment. There you go. Again, y'all know more about it than me, just because I'm happen to be sitting in the chair. Hell, I'll invite y'all over. I don't know everything. I'll be the first to tell you I don't know everything. A lot of y'all spend plenty of time researching stuff. Concurrent means running simultaneously. It was not a consecutive recommendation. Correct. The crazy part was that they drug tested him 4 days ago for his pre-trial assessment deal, and he popped positive for meth then. Yeah, he was tweaking out. You never know how many days he was up before he did that call. Exactly. I mean, but I made the comment on my earlier stream today about the fact that, he made the adult decision to do those drugs. Then I don't think being on drugs is a legitimate defense for anything. If you're going to do the drugs and you see pink elephants and you shoot that pink elephant and it turns out to be a person, then you're guilty as hell. So yeah, he actually did use his email address and his name. I think Mark the Shark was the one who brought us those notes out and told us that information. Yeah. Wasn't his first rodeo. He's done this before. Yep. Hello, Lisa from Tennessee. Since I haven't seen your name roll down through there and I just happened to see it, did say hello to Teresa. But could I even know A&T's names at that early date? It was definitely out. It was, this was like a few days into it. I'm pretty sure it was all over the place on what their names were, right? Well, hello, Katie, baby. Mr. Sea Salty is me. Thanks for stopping in. So, yeah, it makes you wonder, if he's in rehab, obviously he's not supposed to have drugs. And if he pops positive, then obviously he goes straight to, it changes from a probationary status to a straight to jail and serve 5 years. I probably just missed a bunch of stuff. It just jumped on me. So let's just toss that whole salad in. Yeah, I see that comment. In this video, it talks about the plants. Yeah, I have it up right here on the screen. So do y'all want to watch it? Drop me a 1 for a yes or 2 for a no if y'all have already seen it and don't want to watch it and talk about it. Because I haven't seen it. It's only 23 minutes and 51 seconds. So if y'all want to watch it and we'll watch it and discuss it, then y'all just let me know. Hello, Katie. Y'all know that's just my YouTube wave, right? You might get a wave out of me if it just says regular, but that's my YouTube wave. And my camera trips out. I, that's what I'd say too, Ladybugs. Use it to your advantage, honey. Okay, let's see. What's the consensus here? Sound like a decent deal, right? I think he got off very easy for what he did. I mean, he had a criminal background, a criminal history, and so I think he got off pretty easy for probation. Granted, I don't know what all his previous charges were and stuff. Why did SWAT and FBI raid Luke's house the night of February 14th? We all saw how big it was. There was definitely something that told him to be there. And I'll have to go back and check my information to remember what it was. Let's see here. Quite a few on, so Truth Warrior, thanks for stopping in. It looks like there's a bunch of wands, so we'll show this here thing. And exactly, blame it on drugs. Let me change this over here to the screen for y'all to see. Is it this one? Let me go to this one. Yeah, at least y'all can see the YouTube video there. I think if I blow it up.
It's a beautiful overcast morning. The birds are chirping. I love overcast. I was born at night, I found out. So maybe that's why I was born into darkness.
But it wasn't last night.
I actually like darkness and cool,
y'all
muggy
see that?
weather.
We're up to
I also woke up
2,700.
this morning to a new Ashley Banfield video in which she's talking again about the Nancy Guthrie case, and it just feels like a gag order really has been lifted. On the three big channels: Megyn Kelly, Ashley, and Nancy Grace. I guess they're just going in again about this case after taking a hiatus for about a month. Now, we've talked about Brianna Whitney on this channel before in a positive way, because she did an interview with Sheriff Nanos in which, at least I felt, she could not hide her disdain for that man.
And we're working a bajillion hours a day, driving from Tucson to Phoenix, back and forth every single day. I would stop and think, put yourself in Savannah Guthrie's shoes, because, oh my God, I feel so much for her. What they're going through, this being so public, and the fact that she is one of us. She's a journalist. She reports on these things. I cannot imagine, and that kind of helped keep me afloat during those times.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, in the work that we do, the reason that we do what we do is because there are Savannahs in every one of these stories.
There are Savannahs in every one of these crime stories. Now, I would just say that it would probably hit the nail too hard on the head if they were just to say, yeah, you can't help but feel bad for Savannah and Cameron. So this is sort of an exercise in reading between the lines, I guess you could say, of...
I don't think so, Mary. I don't think he had anything to do with it.
Without telling me who you suspect.
Other than his own
stupidity.
stupidity.
So I'd like to give a special shout out to Daniel of the Drunk Turkey Show, who invited me on to discuss the Nancy Guthrie case the other night. And hey, I had a great time. It felt like a very productive interview. One of the things that I'm hoping I had conveyed effectively that night is the importance of Nancy's devices in accordance to the timeline. Okay, so specifically that she did get home that night, and it was something that I really wanted to hammer home to
y'all hear that?
Daniel's audience, that the mystery
get home that night
begins right after she is dropped off by family. So again, I'd like to thank Daniel for being such a brilliant host and making us all feel welcomed on his stream. One particular takeaway from talking with Daniel is the possibility that this image here, which most of us assumed is from another night, possibly January 11th, according to the FBI, might actually be from the same night.
Cheryl.
One of Daniel's he's a very good compelling arguments to this point was a screenshot he showed me from another guest of his named Steve from True Crime Web. And he's a former CSI investigator and, of course, a very, very smart man. And he was able to isolate this image here by adding some filters, adjusting some levels, and I had to admit that the moment I looked at it, it was very convincing. But just the way I am, and plus in the world that we live in today, we can't trust anything we see with our own eyes, and I had to play with it myself.
Can y'all hear it
I won't
okay?
go as far as to say that I debunked anything, okay, any of Steve's findings about that shoe. I'll just say that even though I found the exact same frame, I wasn't able to replicate that black pattern that you see there. I scrubbed the footage back and forth, and to me, it's just more pants. Similar to when people felt they saw a tattoo on the perp's wrist. We did the same thing. We scrubbed the video slowly back and forth and realized it was just more glove. And so I have to say that I am yet to be convinced that those are
I think it's the same shoes.
I kept that open mind, and it's
I believe
because
they are.
of Steve's screenshot that it made me think to myself, hey, why don't I just go in and see if I could figure out if that is actually the same night or not. And of course, knowing me, I got obsessed with this mission. I started going
Thank you, Mary
over
Dean.
every detail, even the blurriest of artifacts. And I think I've pinpointed a very intriguing argument on why this solitary image, this backpackless, this crotch holsterless image provided by the FBI is actually not the same night. That it actually lends even better to it being multiple weeks beforehand. So
Okay, I'll
allow
listen.
me to set it all up for you so that it could make
Send it.
better sense. Now, I think we all could agree
Okay,
that
let's
if our
listen.
eyeballs could see at night, like the infrared imaging of the Nest camera, that would be great. But there are limitations, such as the colors being lost, noisy, grainy, and artifacts alone could fool us and have fooled a lot of people into seeing something that's actually not there. Like the Nancy reflection in the porch light of her sitting down, tied up, or whatnot. I can see what they're seeing, but I don't agree that that is what that is, which will answer anyone that may be wondering what I actually thought about that. So in order to
Danica?
be more confident about what's there or what's not there in this solitary image, I think a good way is to compare it with another image, also provided by the FBI, and play the fun game of spot the difference.
Oh, I was hoping to save the image. Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. I think it is the same clothing, the same everything in both of these images, me personally, just based on my experience and all that stuff. The difference is the image taken right here, the refraction of the light off of the subject, since he's at such a far distance, is not as great as you see it here because he's up close and he's triggered the motion, and the IR illuminators has fired to make the image. Thank you again, Danica. And the difference you're seeing is you see how bright the white is in the. Is my cursor showing up there? Yeah, up here at the top. The difference is the light is refracting and reflecting back off the brick. When I say reflecting, I don't want y'all to think that it's like a reflected, like a stop sign type reflection. It just illuminates it because it's hitting the brick and the brick absorbs it and doesn't reflect it directly back at you. The light just bounces around and lights up that whole room because he's in the entryway here. Maybe I'm not showing the whole screen up here because on my image, the guy is just barely off the edge over here. So just saying, he's right in here. But over here, the motion itself has triggered the camera to come on. And normally I would say that, the illuminators have fired. But if you notice the difference in the darkness of the images, this right here, structure does not change. And so even if we're saying it's a different night, blah, 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 these illuminators are going to illuminate this area of this, I'm going to say vestibule, for all you fine folks who've grown up in church and all that stuff, the entryway before the entryway. So you're inside of what I'm going to call the vestibule, because there's this arch thing that leads in right to the front door. Does everybody understand what I'm talking about? The bricks and all that stuff around this entryway of the vestibule is illuminated. And had this been this night, the same night, a different night, the illumination of these bricks, if this camera fired and those IR lights had lit up this area, that's not going to change no matter what night it is. And so you would see, if it was much brighter outside, then it would be the same way. Thank you again, Danica. It would be, it's still going to illuminate it, you know, and this image over here would be just as bright as this image whenever those things fire. So, thank you, Michaela. Is that me? Yeah, Michaela, thank you for that. Those gifts, I don't know what they do, but they're gifts, and I'm thanking you for them. So thank you, everybody who does all that stuff. So I hope everybody understands, but the difference we're seeing here is the distance that the subject, the body right here, for the light to pick it up. And so since the IR has not fired to the point where it illuminates this subject back here, that's why you're getting an artifact image. This right here is that same deal that's going across the chest of the subject as he is over on this image over here, the black thing. He just don't have the backpack on and all that stuff. But right there is definitely the line across the chest of that material that's on that jacket. And I mean, I would find that if this was a homeless person, their clothing is going to be a lot more soiled and be of more of a filthy style. And we would see that if he's worn this same clothing for multiple days, like they're saying this is back on January 11th and this is back on February the 1st. If they're saying that that's what this guy's wearing and he's a homeless guy type situation, that clothing is going to be dirty. In the images where he's over here on this image up close at the porch where the actual FBI footage of porch guys released, we would see his clothing is filthy, and you would see differences. His clothing appears clean to me. So I can't say that this is not. I mean, you do notice that those house lights are on up here. Those house lights are on up here at the house on the hill. So let's listen and see what he says. But that's just sort of my take on this whole thing of it being the same night. In my own opinion, I think it was just at a different time the camera captured it. I think obviously this right here is going to be before this footage right here because he took the camera, right? So what did I miss right there? I'm sorry. So let's play it and see what it says.
You know, also provided by the FBI, and play the fun game of Spot the Difference. Given this is a game where we want to be able to match things correctly, we're allowed to use a cheat sheet. Okay, so we're going to actually use footage taken by the media shortly after Nancy's abduction of her front wall.
So since we're right here, and I know I don't want to interrupt it too much for y'all. So right down through here is where, okay, so the subject comes in from over here and makes his appearance on to the patio thing here, the front porch. When he leaves, we see him come right here and grab the flowers. The blood is there now, and we hear Chris McDonough is explaining to us that the blood trail comes down to here. He talks about the crack. Right there's one of the cracks. There's another crack. Somewhere in here by a crack is where the blood turns and makes an alternate direction. So my thoughts are, when I've been saying about a wheelchair or something where they carried her in a chair or carried her out of there type thing, the reason if they were in a wheelchair, they couldn't come down to here is because that wheelchair is wider than the ability to go between this plant and that handrail right there. And that's why they decided to go out through here and go around and come down to the car without having to remove her from the chair they were carrying her in, or the fireman's carry, or another type of carry that I suspect that they were doing. I don't think they just drug her by her feet and ankles, or her arms and legs and all that kind of stuff right down through there, because we wouldn't have seen that direction change. So just to point that out since this is right here on the video. But you don't notice, what is that right there? Is that a rock right there? Am I seeing this correctly? Y'all see right over here on the left side of the screen, right behind that flower? Is that a rock right there? Can't tell.
Her porch to
sort of hard to
clearly identify certain objects that just look confusing, just a little too pixelated in the screenshots, right? A fairly simple concept, but we will find out that it is very effective. So let's go ahead and look at that solitary image again. Let's go ahead and bring in a one-to-one of that other image, and let's go ahead and play. So the first things I'm gonna do is circle the important things that I feel are the same, okay? So we have these 3 lights over here and 1 light here, and it seems to be emanating from the exact same house from the distance. In this image, there is also a secondary light here. Now, we could also argue these lights here and here, but given that that solitary image lacks a lot of details when it comes to distance in comparison to this other image, you know, I feel we can't confidently say that those are actually differences. Now, there's also a little light peeking through here on both images, and so far, I guess we could say things are looking rather similar that night, if not the same, which would lead a lot of us to believe that we're looking at the same night. Okay, so moving on. Now, I'm pretty sure you've all noticed that we lost pretty much all the detail of Nancy's driveway in that solitary image. So let's start the game again right here with this plant, in which we can easily identify in News Nation's footage here as this plant on the right side of Nancy's walkway. Now, if we let the footage run just a little bit, then I'd like us to all identify this pot with 2 slender cacti planted within it. Now let's go back to the porch guy footage. That definitely is this pot here. Next to it is this little pot with another cactus growing, and we can identify it in both these images. And it looks great so far, to suggest that this is still the same night. But what fun would it be if there wasn't a twist in this image, okay? So I'll give you guys a few more seconds to look, and for the extremely intrigued, hey, just go ahead and pause the video.
Let's pause the video. Yeah, there's definitely something there and something there that appears to be different. There is this right here is not in this image. I bet he's going to say this right here, but that's the body covering that up. What else y'all see? I see this pieces of brick is right there. This is in both images. Okay. I did see your comment here. Let me go back up because there was a comment here. Let's talk about it. Katie says, "Do you think something is in his left hand, like a bag or a possible toolbox?" Are you talking in the image right here where he's up on the porch? I don't see anything in either one of his hands. You talking about in this image right here? I don't think so. Me personally, I'm not seeing, but let's see if it plays, and I don't think so. Not based on what I'm seeing, looking at it. But again, it's the fact that the illuminator is not fired and really showing the image. We're looking at it through an infrared camera without the illuminators illuminating. That I believe is what is occurring. Analyze that. Doug says your mind will change at the end of this video. Different night. Okay, I can have a different view. I can, if you show it to me, then I can look at it and get a different opinion for sure. Truth says definitely different night. C Fresh says a guy and a girl, 2 people, same night, staging a crime scene. That's definitely possible. They could have dressed alike to try to throw us off. Mike says there's the bloody mat they never even took for analysis. Case closed. Yep. Are those cracks or shadows on the walkway? Those are cracks for sure. She had a walker as well. Yeah, but I don't think they were going to... I don't see them toting her out with a walker. As in, I don't think she would have been walking just based on possible injuries type thing. Front porch blood was Nancy's and was planted there. It's quite possible. There's many thoughts on that, and I don't want to hold it up for that, but keep that thought in mind. I believe Nancy could have got around better than they made it seem like. She wasn't wheelchair bound or anything. She still was able to walk, just not for a long distance at once. Unless she's incapacitated, and then she's dead weight. And I say that with all due respect. Meridine says, look at perp on right, has long nails. I've seen that part in the video, and it is interesting, and I have seen it, and I agree that it's seen that way, but something still strange about all that. Did anyone ever divulge just exactly what type of style gloves was porch guy wearing? No, not that I know of. Okay, I've heard different things, and I didn't see it at first, but now I do. Okay, so let's, but was the report made just prior? Investigators can take time to get to the home if going over evidence and paperwork. Let me think about that. I hope you get some sleep tonight. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I got some sleep today. I slept till 10 o'clock. Okay, let's continue. Let's see what Monks has to say. I love Monks. He does a great job with all of his stuff, and he's proven a lot of stuff, you know. And just because I may disagree with him at some point on some things doesn't mean overall I disagree with him. He's very intriguing, and he has some great analysis and interpretations and his own visual aspects of the stuff, and I agree with a lot of it. So let's just continue.
Now go and strain your little eyeballs, because I will tell you, I believe I have found one critical difference. A clue that Mother Nature herself has left for us. Da-da-dum. So pause, I'll wait. So first, let's look at this image from the night that the crotch holster guy steps onto Nancy's porch. Now look at the pot from News Nation's footage again, okay? You have one cactus standing
sideways,
tall, and then you have this other guy over here. He seems to be suffering a bit. He's not getting enough water, enough sunlight, whatever it may be, but he is starting to lean. Now, it's a bit hard to tell in which direction he is leaning, but allow me to expand on that. If we were to go by the angle of the pot, it's a rectangular, squarish pot, right? So that angle there that I'm gonna mark for you, that is the direction that he is leaning. He is actually sort of facing towards the street. He is facing towards this flat, leafy plant here. Please, excuse me if I'm not a cactus expert, but what I'm trying to say is that it's leaning towards that big, flat-leafed succulent thing there. I remember someone commenting what that actually is. They said that that's an agave plant,
C-Fresh,
which is not a true cactus. And I'll just say, hey, if you know that for a fact, then that is great.
I agree, Joyce.
So we're going to call it an agave plant, and its role of just being there is rather important. And so just going back to that leaning cactus, okay, in the rectangular pot.
Monks is awesome.
The points are that it's leaning towards the agave plant at the angle of the pot. If we follow
I can agree with
the
that.
base of this leaning cactus, we can actually confidently outline that very droopy cactus, the one that we see in the News Nation footage. I'm really hoping I've made my point very clear, because I'm going to take you
Something
back
about that over there
to the
was...
solitary image. And for everybody that paused the video, that possibly has computer eye strain at this point, do you see the difference now? Allow me to make it more clear if you're not seeing what we're seeing. So we are simply going to follow the base of that same plant, only now, as we follow it, you can see that he is just as upright as his pot partner at this point in time. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe our leaning cactus in the solitary FBI image, it is still standing nice and tall and erect. I learned that it can take 1 to 4 weeks for a cactus to show noticeable signs of leaning, okay? And this is all going to depend on conditions. So it would be reasonable to say that it would take at least 1 week for a cactus to start slightly leaning. I would say that it would be even more likely that it would take, say, 3 weeks for a cactus to lean, you know, that dramatic.
And I'm going to stop it right here and say, if this image, I could clearly see what he's talking about, you know, for someone to draw it and outline it and make you see it, that's one thing. But if you physically can't see it for your own eyes and make a true determination of exactly what it is you're seeing, and I see there's stuff up here in this point area up here. If y'all are seeing my cursor down on the screen where I'm talking about. To me, and I know this right here would go technically behind it because it's this leaf branch is sticking out, so you're not really seeing this section right in here. But this part right here, I'm not for sure saying that I'm seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing. Now, if you're telling me this leaf right here is that direction, I can go with that because I can clearly see the contrast between the brick and all that stuff. And if the evidence doesn't show it beyond a reasonable doubt, then it's not sufficient enough evidence to say that that is what we're seeing. Because honestly, to me, what that looks like is someone who has altered the image via various, and again, I'm not saying monks did this. I'm not saying that at all for anybody watching. But I'm saying is you can't clearly see exactly what he is describing to you. I understand what he's saying. But show me. I mean, you got to show me. I can see that this right here is definitely a contrast amongst all that stuff, and I agree that that is probably a plant sticking up. But what if the angle of the walk up here, where are we at here on time? 11:55? 11:55, let's go back over here. I mean, you see what I'm saying? So this right here, looking at this image right here, this edge right here, and then this edge right here is the two branches he's talking about. What if that right there is the branch that is hidden because you see this stalk right here, which would be that first one, right? Or correct? You see that branch right there? That right there would be that one. And the second one would be coming off the back side over here by the elbow, and you can't clearly see it back here. It should be taller than that one, correct? Based on this angle we're seeing. So, I mean, it's not conclusive to me. I can see that this image, this part right here is one of these right here. But I think we're just missing other ones in this image throughout all this. Just my opinion. You can keep trying to explain it to me, and we'll watch and we'll learn. But you know that's just my opinion on what I'm seeing so far.
I do believe our leaning cactus in the solitary FBI image, it is still standing nice and tall and erect. I learned that it can take 1 to 4 weeks for a cactus to show noticeable signs of leaning, okay? And this is all going to depend on conditions. So it would be reasonable to say that it would take at least 1 week for a cactus to start slightly leaning. I would say that it would be even more likely that it would take, say, 3 weeks for a cactus to lean.
High coffees and conversations. Welcome.
I mean, we've
Thanks
all
for
had our
stopping
theories debunked in some way, shape, or form because this case has a lot of moving parts and it's just confusing at times. So if this is messing with your same-day theory, I could understand why it would be a bit hard to swallow.
Let's see if he goes back to it.
Allow me to just nudge you just a little more. Now I'm just going to overlay both scenes together. And now that I've pointed out what to look for, I'm just going to alternate the images. Just take a look. Wilted, unwilted. Wilted, unwilted. And I really don't think a cactus is going to start to wilt to that degree in the span of the porch guy being on Nancy's walkway, getting dressed up, crotch holster, coming back, and stepping onto her porch. That cactus is not doing that.
I see what he's saying, but at the same time, I'm not seeing it.
Fairly compelling argument here. And if you look even closer, I would even add that our lovely little agave plant is suffering as well from time, right? That he too is.
And the reason I'm saying that is watch right here in this base part. I can see these parts right here in this image where we're talking about, but watch the change right here in this base part. And it doesn't show it leaning out. Let me watch it and see here.
Slightly wilting at this point as well. And
Can't
so
stop it on.
Oh, if you guys are on the same page as
I may have to go back and watch it multiple times. I may have to take this video and put it into my software and see if I can change it and alter the contrast and all that stuff. So maybe I can pull out what he's showing a little better. I mean, if I could see it, I might can take a look at it. You know what I mean?
I am. Of course, we're going to wonder, well, what does it mean then? Okay, for this to be 2 separate nights, right? Possibly 2 to 3 weeks apart. I will say it just strengthens our theory that the crotch holster guy was at Nancy's property a whole previous night. If we have proven that, then yeah, he was testing something, testing the cameras, doing a trial run, that he was gathering intel, being that that was so many weeks out, that this was meticulously planned, right, in advance. And to use the reference coined by Gary Brucato of a chef and a waiter, to me at least, okay, because it appears to be the same guy on Nancy's walkway that we're actually looking at, I think that is the chef at this point. He's doing his own reconnaissance. He's gathering his own intel. He's the only guy that we know for sure to have existed. Now, I also like the idea of a partner, but that is a partner that is not going to get his hands dirty. He is going to get paid in another way, and he is merely the getaway driver. He's the one that takes Nancy away. But this here, I am starting to be convinced, is the chef. I also want to point out a brilliant point that Daniel from the Drunk Turkey Show made when I was on it that pretty much blew me away. That the positioning of the perp looked as though, you know, he was ready to run, right? One leg out, one leg back, one arm forward, and he does. He looks like he's about to bolt, and he gave a great reason of why he was positioned this way. He possibly could have been just nudging towards that camera. Once he triggered that Nest camera to detect him, the lights would go on. The lights are usually solid. They're static. But for some reason, the nerdy side of Daniel was able to figure out that a Nest camera, it will blink when someone on the other end on their phone or their app, most likely Nancy, if she is watching her Nest camera, that's when it's going to blink. Both very astute observations, right? It's an amazing piece of information to know about what that camera does when somebody's watching. We could assume that Nancy did not open her Nest camera app and see that nightmare on her walkway, because if she did, she's calling the police ASAP. This was a targeted abduction.
Was it a
because
911
if the
call?
solitary image is just a run-of-the-mill criminal, okay, looking for a quick buck and failing to find a way into Nancy's house, he is moving to another house. Who in the world comes back to the same house 3 weeks later, dressed in almost the same getup to try again, right? If Nancy wasn't
I agree,
a
B24.
target. And another thing that bugs me is that the porch guy footage in itself has no business existing. Okay. And I'm not talking about Google's ability to recover, that footage. I'm saying the porch guy saw what is on that porch, a camera and a security door. He should have never stepped back onto that porch. Now that I feel we've proven that these are on 2 separate nights, why not look for an easier, I could say less conspicuous route? The back doors. So the fact that we even get to see this fella on the front porch again tells me he either has the memory of a goldfish or because he meant
Good analogy.
for us to see him there. But monks, lest you forget, Nancy had no subscription. How could he count on the footage being retrieved by Google and the FBI then? Okay, if he's doing this on purpose, to be seen. And I'm so glad you asked that, my friend, because I don't think the porch guy counted on the footage being retrieved either. He was solely
I think he thought it
counting
was
on
stored locally on the
events
camera.
being created by Nancy's Nest app, which it will pretty much create thumbnails and keep whether you have a subscription or not. He was banking on solitary images, just like this one, just like that one, which I do believe were event thumbnails created for anyone with access to Nancy's phone notifications to see. I am really feeling that the porch guy didn't count on actual video footage to be retrieved. This would reveal his gait, his mannerisms, so many more aspects of him than he ever wanted us to see. So the next natural question would be, then why did he want to be seen? And that's simply because of what's awkwardly
part of the setup.
placed on his private region, right? It's pretty much showcased like an adorned crotch of honor. Like why am I moving? At this point, after viewing this footage so many hundreds of times, to me, he is basically saying, look, guys, look at me. Make no mistake of what I am. I am a masked gunman here to kidnap Nancy Guthrie. And after that, what do the police find when they arrive on the scene? Nancy's blood on the porch. And what does the media receive shortly after that? They receive 2 ransom notes that the FBI, even Savannah, believe are real, in which the second note says that Nancy is dead, perished, buried in nature, no longer mentioning anything about money or ransom. And now just think about that. Think about that very, very hard, because there is an epiphany for you if it hasn't occurred to you yet. The note isn't sent secretly through avenues such as the Pima County Sheriff's Department or even the FBI, who have been known to be very tight-lipped about this type of correspondence. They send this note to a local news station in Tucson. And what do news outlets want to do all the time? They're always on the hunt for late-breaking news. So what are they going to do when they receive a ransom letter in the Nancy Guthrie case? Well, for one, they're going to want to reveal it for the world. But KOLD is very responsible, so I give them kudos to that. They shared it with the police and the FBI. Never truly disclosed exactly what the notes said. A lot of us, I'm sure, have mulled over this letter, right? What kind of ransom doesn't ask for a ransom and is basically a statement to give us information about the status of Nancy Guthrie? And if you guys are anything like me, right, a lawn chair detective, we lose sleep over these things. When things don't make much sense at all. And I've mulled over this letter in the dark of night, and it still doesn't make sense. But I have come up with one reason that makes the most sense to me. And that was this letter writer really, really
I don't know how you got the gummy worms on there.
The word out there of Nancy's death. This person wanted that word to spread to the right ears, I would assume. Okay. And they're not asking for money in that second note, which
thanks for stopping in.
Some people makes it appear genuine, I guess, right? Just a simple statement in poetic language of Nancy's demise, which sounds to me that the culprit or culprits
I'm at the point of just a half.
Right? They're getting out of the game before it's too late, before they're caught. Nothing left to gain. And that in itself is the puzzling nature of this very act. Because don't you just
agree, Mary Dean?
Stay quiet?
These are all the same questions we're asking.
Why even open up this channel for communication? Why risk sending in a note simply to inform the family and the world that Nancy Guthrie is dead? Okay? No cold-blooded kidnapper is going to do this if the only prize left is stupid. The only prize left is
a
prison.
Bitcoin.
Actual bad guys.
A single Bitcoin.
Just abandon ship, hoping never to be
the other guy.
Seen or found. So let's go ahead and add all this equation together, okay? So you have a masked gunman plus the victim's blood on the porch plus an inexplicable note just to say that Nancy is dead, which makes me want to recite a little bit of Arizona law. How Arizona treats a missing person case when there is no body. So the standard wait, okay, before someone is declared dead is 5 continuous years with no evidence that they are alive. However, there can be an expedited declaration if there is clear and convincing evidence that the person is dead, such as signs of violence, such as blood on the porch, images of a gunman, and a note declaring that Nancy is buried in nature. And I must admit that I am no math wizard, but even I can add up that equation. My name is Monks. Now, don't forget to indulge yourself in the Zodiac series as I prepare to wrap that series up very soon. And just FYI, because I've done this with many videos in the past, once a certain series is completed, it goes to members only. And the Zodiac series is one of them, okay? And that's just a heads up that you can still view it while it's publicly available. Now, go protect the ones that you love and love, the ones that protect you.
I want to let it finish playing and stuff there, just to give him credit off his video and all that good stuff. I don't know. I'm just not seeing it, y'all. And again, I'm not saying Monks is wrong. I'm just saying I do not see clear-cut evidence of what he's saying. I can see, based on his little outlines and all that stuff, what he's trying to get us to see. But if you can't make it clear that that's exactly what it is you're seeing, then, I mean, for me, that's not enough to change my opinion on that stuff. I still believe that was from the same person, the same night, and it's just a run before he walked up there. He took the backpack off or something like that, and then went around the back and all that stuff. And then in the chance that, you know, he walked up there, granted, he would have known. But again, when he's walking up there, we must remember, even though it was enough light to see the area, once you get up underneath that covered porch, you're not seeing. That's why as he steps up, you notice even with the brightness of the moon in you see how bright it is in this image right here when he actually comes up all the way on the porch? This right here is before he ever comes up on the porch. I think this right here was he was walking up and he seen the lights turn on, and it's right whenever the camera triggers, and it took that image type thing because it detected the motion. There was enough image there for it to detect motion, but the lights haven't kicked on to take the image yet. Whereas this right here, he was fully on the porch and it took the image. And so the IRs have kicked on, so therefore the camera has switched into, you know, a total darkness type situation. And therefore the IR, the infrared, and the iris of the camera is much wider to allow as much of the exposure to occur, and that's why you're getting more information on the data to the card. But I think this right here was prior to it, and he observed that the camera either clicked on or he saw the infrareds, you know, occurring, and he moved back, and that's what the image is. Whereas this is a still shot from a video that was actually taken because he walked up there and the motion detected and the full camera access and went live and recorded this whole video, and it went into its fully open mode to record the video. And so this part right here it looks brighter, like it was, you know, a totally different night, because of the fact that it did go into full open iris, full IRs and all that stuff, and it detected the motion. Whereas, just like he was saying, he could have been creeping up on the camera to see when and what distance, but he never went to the full effect and got, you know, he stood there still enough that the camera awoke, but it didn't go full live, is my thoughts on that. And over here, again, as you see him walk up on the porch, you see him. Let me see if I can find that part in his video here, just so I can make sure, because it's not something I have talked about and discussed. Where is the part where the video part? Well, right there, you can see. Can y'all see this image right here? You see how close he is? Right there's the edge of the porch, and there's that 3 or 4 inch step up maybe. And so he hasn't came all the way onto the porch to where the motion fully detects him. But I thought right here in his image, in his video, he plays the video on point, and you can see the guy walk up onto the porch. And I want y'all to see, as he walks up on the porch, you'll see the bite light turn on so that he can see that step. And if it was
drunk turkey show made when I was on it, that pretty much blew me away. That the positioning of the perp,
okay, that's not
looked
a video,
as though, you know, he was ready to run, right? One leg out, one leg back, one arm forward, and he looks like he's about to bolt. And he gave a great reason of offense being created, because I don't think
right
the porch guy counted on the footage.
So it didn't show it all the way, but yeah, it does. At some point he does. I know he does, because I discussed the fact. Did I just miss it there? Thank you, Camille, for hitting that subscribe button. Camille Malcolm. Looky there, you're dinging them bells. Playing that Marine Corps hymn. Okay, right here, I think. Right in here.
Wanted us to see.
Okay, you see this right here? These are the reflectors on the shoulder pads, right? Knee glasses, right? Yeah, for sure. Okay, now watch right here. You see my cursor's at? Watch this area right here. As he goes to step up, you will start seeing lights. The light on his mouth will come on, and you'll be able to see a reflected light from that source from his light in his mouth, reflecting off the floor right here, and it's bounced up towards the camera.
So the next natural question.
Let me go back. It may not show it. Let's see.
This would reveal his gait.
Yeah, there. Did you see it right there in the very beginning? Watch as I do it again. When he bites that light, you'll be able to see it come on that floor.
An actual video footage.
Matter of fact, here I'll turn it down super slow, so I hope it don't. His voice is going to change and sound like a something totally different here. Playback speed. Let's go Alex style. When I showed Alex this, he loves this. Sorry. Don't laugh at him. It's not.
This would
see it right there? See the light coming on right here? You see that?
His mannerisms would be
watch it again.
This would reveal his gait.
So if it was that bright out there, like everybody's talking about how bright the night sky and all that stuff was, and he was able to see and blah blah blah, you can see his shadow right here. It still wasn't bright enough for him to see this step. That's why he clicked that light on, to be able to see that step. So, but this is one of the first things I noticed about the videos. When he turns that light on, you'll be able to see it right here, and he's illuminating that step to step up on there. So it's a lot darker than what the camera is making you believe it is. People are saying it was so bright out there that night. No, really it's not. It's still just as pitch black to the human that's there. It's pitch black out there, and we've seen the darkness out there. Even on a full moon type night, it's still not, it's not daylight, that's for sure. It may not be pitch dark because there is a cast of a shadow, but the reason it looks so bright is because that camera is able to see that shadow because of the iris and the exposure being fully open as he walks up and triggers that camera. So I hope that helps y'all understand a little bit about that, but it is definitely still dark enough that he cannot see that step, and so he keeps from busting his ass and tripping over it. He turns on this light.
His manners. This would
right there. See
it? His gait.
And the same thing occurs when he goes over and he picks the flowers. If you watch the ground in the image, when he goes over and picks the flowers and tries to see where the flowers are at, he has to turn on the bite light to be able to see those flowers. It's not that bright as this image makes you think it is. So hope that breaks that down for you. Yeah, it was just a simple click. I'm reading Micah's comment. Light came on, then turned back off right away. It was just a simple bam, just turn it on real quick with his mouth, and just so he could see the edge where that step was at and know in his mind where he needed to step at. And I bet if we watch here, it's going to be probably maybe a wider step because he knows the general area, but without turning that light back on, he's going to make a long, wider step just to make sure he clears it type thing. So let's watch and see.
His mannerisms.
So he's able to see exactly the edge type thing. So, he had cleared that. He turned that light on so he could see that step and know exactly where he needed to put his foot. So, there's a couple different things in there that, again, I'm not saying Monks is wrong or, whatever. It's just that I'm not seeing everything because the camera doesn't pick it up. And as much as we want to believe what we're being told and all that stuff, I can tell you this right here is a brick archway, and looking over it like that, because why? You can definitely see the contrast and know exactly what you're looking at. I can't fully say. If I was having to testify in court as a video analyst on that, I could not testify the fact that that is exactly what I see, if that makes sense to you guys. But I can testify that, yes, I can see that he came through this archway because you can clearly see it. It has to be sufficient evidence to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that that is what you're seeing. So, Strawberry Nani, hello. Danica, I mean, yeah, I've never wavered from my stance on that. Until you show me facts that Annie and Tommaso are not involved, I'm still at Annie and Tommaso, because in my mind, I haven't got her back home yet. I know there's blood. I know there's blah, blah, blah. Show me that there's proof that they brought her home. Just because the garage door went up and down, that doesn't prove anything to me, per se, you know. Where is our Michelle? We only have like 14 and a half dozen of yous. So there's a bunch of you. The guy Richard is a real odd dude. Uh, yeah. Yes. I don't want to say anything that, you know, I said something early on Patriot Pride, on Ted's, the Patriot Pride was on there, Adam and all that stuff. He's working on some stuff with him. So I don't want to say anything that he could see anything from anybody that would discourage him from continuing to talk. So that's the only reason why I'm not going to make any comments on that. Not that he watches me, but hell, he could. Dr. Gary mentioned the porch guy shows no emotion, no sense of fear, just systematic in his ways. Yeah, I mean, I believe he was there for a purpose. And again, in my mind, I have not discounted the fact that it's not the bodyguard for Savannah. He fits it. He wears the same style of clothing, same style of shoes, same style of dress and all that stuff. He could have been called to, I mean, assist and what the hell do we do? How do we do this? You know, the guy, a lot of guys who are into the bodyguarding lifestyle and have that expertise, they're trained in different things. That's probably going to be one of those things where he would be able to assist them. It's Shell, and I'm sure she's working. What a precious soul. I think y'all are having a separate conversation. She is definitely a precious soul. I hope she's listening. Did y'all, a lot of you probably were not here last night for our friend from Australia stopped in, Michelle. So if you're out there, Michelle, is that who we're talking about? Michelle? Oh shit, Michelle. She may be out there. She was working last night, but it's weird with a 15-hour difference. Mary Dean says, Cap, I'm with you on that. I think Cameron was there at Nancy's all along. You know, and I've been thinking about that scenario. One, I do not believe that guy right there. Oh, y'all are not seeing it. The porch guy. I do not believe the porch guy is Cameron for sure. Different body style, different body structure, a lot shorter than what I believe Cameron is. But, you know, I know people were talking about him coming home and maybe been the one that went in the garage and all that stuff, and then went out the back doors to the casita and all that stuff. I don't see if he's involved, he's the one that did it all. I don't see him. I think with his background in military and military intelligence and a fighter pilot and all that stuff, I think that he's smart enough to know that if he's going to do this and it has to happen, then he's going to do it himself and nobody else is going to know about it. You know what I mean? He's not going to invite anybody else to that party to the point where he has to snuff someone else's life because he's afraid you're going to talk. Training and all that stuff tells you if that's going to happen, you're going to do it yourself. And I'll say that, and listen to me. There's another case from out of the Bahamas. That guy served in the Marine Corps. And exactly to my last statement was that he doesn't appear to have anybody else involved, y'all. So just my thoughts on that. But I personally don't see Cameron involved. I don't see Savannah physically involved. I haven't gotten it out of my mind yet that she couldn't be involved to the point where she had it done. And I can't say fully on the reason why she would have had it done in the sense of the motive she would have for it. Yes, Brian Hooker. I did know his name. I just didn't say it. In the fact that I don't know what her motive would have been, but per se, there is in my mind reasons that it would have helped her stay in the limelight, kept her from being, her contract ended, to NBC, CBS, whoever the hell it is she works for. It's just money to them if they have to end her contract. But for her, it's more than just the fact of money. It's the fact that you were let go from your position and now you're no longer worth their time and effort and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's more personal to her to not have to feel that pain, not let her mother know that she was let go or the thought process. So in order to keep, who's going to fire someone right in the middle of a family crisis like this, like their mother was let go? Again, I said last night, talking about the fact of maybe she didn't want to go to England or wherever the hell the Olympics are at. Maybe she didn't want to go over there. And just so happens that this come up right before she was supposed to depart to go over there. There's all kind of things that you can sort of think and think about the fact of what is the possibility that she did have a involvement, and I don't think so. I don't know. There was some, I don't think that she practiced Wiccan or anything like that, but I guess she had a Gothic tone in high school, which doesn't mean nothing. I'm just saying she just had a Gothic tone to the dark side. I know plenty of people during high school who were Gothic and they turned out to be all right human damn beings, but just saying. What about the neighbor who someone said her son was mentioned in the e-files? In my mind, I haven't connected anything to the e-files. I know there's plenty of stuff out there and people are talking about it and all that stuff, but I just haven't. I haven't felt the connection to any of the stuff in the e-files, the Epstein files, for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about. Whether Savannah reported on it, didn't report on it, did this or did that. I just haven't felt the connection there for it to be anything related to anything to do with Epstein or anything to do with that case. I haven't felt it that way. Strawberry Nani says, I'm going to stick with what I've been saying. Cameron knew why, and I believe that because it may be that he had previously advised Savannah of something that could have put Nancy in jeopardy. Let me think about this. Well, it is definitely strange of what he said to her before the ransom notes even came out, in the fact that he says, I think it was because of you, sweetie, based on what they're saying. I think it's because of you, sweetie, and it was for ransom. It does strike as, why in the hell would you say that? At the same time, it's also a truthful statement in knowing that she's a celebrity. She's a celebrity. We all know that. I mean, hell, somebody getting paid $8 million and then they're on TV, they're a celebrity in my mind, because I'm sitting here at my house on a YouTube channel. So they're a celebrity, you know what I mean? So, so I can understand why he would have that insight as to believe that without the ransom notes coming in and all that stuff. But, it's just, it's a status thing and all that stuff, you know, just because of what he knows and all that stuff. Not that he knows anything was happening or anything like that. The fact that he knows that she's a celebrity and all that stuff. But I listened to it, but I don't think it's to the point where he had anything to do with it, and that's why he told the ransom notes before the ransom notes come out. Could I be wrong? You damn right I could. But I just don't feel it. Hold on. Truth. Has anyone noticed anything about Sue Ellen's husband? There ain't no damn man gonna stay there that long with that cranky ass. There ain't no way she's got a good bone in her body. All you daggum hags better take a damn lesson off that. If y'all turn into that shit, then you need to be driving a Prius and having people pissing out in front of your house in piss tents, allegedly on camera, where people cannot hear you. And you ought to be having to drag rocks and cacti and dog shit down to your rocks and smear it all over with your hands and putting it so people don't come standing in your yard. I'm trying, Cheryl. I'm sorry. We talked about this. Oh, see, South Gal 69. Good to see your name in here. Thanks for stopping in. I'm beginning to think that this case will not be solved if they do find someone. It will have to be based on DNA. Can't identify porch guy and nobody so far. Agreed. I mean, there's so many things that have just been thrown here, there, and yonder that it's going to take a lot to prove anything. Well, that is a correct statement, Cheryl. I'm reading your comment as it was right there in the chat a second ago. Instead of me reading the actual chat over here, I just happened to see your comment, and it probably was a guy that made her that way. That's for damn sure. Have y'all talked to my wife? 31 years. I'm sure she's that way. Hello, Saban. I see your name popping over there. Thanks for stopping in right there. We Investigates. I see your name popping up in there. If we get to the point, anybody want to jump in the stream here, then I will give the mods a link. Do not post it in the chat. Verify with the names that we know of people that have been in multiple times, and we vetted them. We know their names and all that stuff. I'll ask that y'all not send it to anybody that we don't know. And I think that'll help curtail a little bit of stuff. Again, if you are a mod and you're sending it to somebody that you know and all that stuff, I'm going to understand that you trust them and we're going to bring them in type thing. So, truth shall, see, I'll send it to you guys, you mods that are in here. I was gonna say I'll send it through Discord, direct message to one of you, and then you share it with the other, and that way I can just do it that way. Let me grab it real quick. Let me make sure that I don't know why it always reverts to that little camera up there for me. Maybe it's going off brain size or something. It puts me in a little box up in the corner. I'll fix it here in a second. Okay. Now where the hell's Shibby at when I need him here to help me out and do all this stuff? I need an extra 12 hands here. Direct message. Let's see who I got right here in my direct messages, right here at the top. Truth, I'm gonna send it to you, and you send it to the other mods, and y'all help me out with that, please. Thank you, ladies. Just got to verify that I'm doing this right. Okay, Truth, you got it. So send it to the other mods for me, please. And I'll carry on and get this adjusted up for us. And then anybody that would like and we know that would like to come in and join the collab, we'll get a little of that going. Everybody down with that? Anybody want to call in just on a telephone? Let me know. Get one of the mods and they can post the phone line number and we'll get you on a telephone call in if you'd like to discuss anything. And we can do that way too. So oh, let me fix myself up here in the camera section here. Yeah, if I can remember how to do that. There we go. I don't remember how big my image is supposed to be up there. Let's see. What's everybody saying down here? Okay, this stuff gets wild here. So it should let me know here whenever I see someone down in the backstage area. Savannah is still crying. Yes, she is. But she is an actress. Yeah, make sure you drop Wee. I'll vouch for Wee myself. He's been on my streams before, and I personally invited him. Shibby in here too. Shibby coming up. I see somebody. I see Wee saying, Shibby, where are you? Oh, that's because I asked where Shibby was at. I doubt Shibby's in here. Not that I don't think he wouldn't come over, but I'm just saying. Yeah, if any of the mods send you a link, I'm gonna trust that they know you and all that good stuff. So, Marcus Northeast, I appreciate you. Look, I have my good days and I have my bad days, and some days just things occur and all that stuff. I don't know if you were here last night. You know, I've told everybody that's involved and may have seen it and all that good stuff. I'm sorry for just going off on it. And that's why I'm sort of trying to keep it under control in the sense of who we send about pasting the link and all that stuff. So anybody wants to come on, hey. For anybody that's new, one of the mods, if y'all could drop the Discord link into the chat, or it may fly here. It's set up on different things. The Discord link is a server we've set up on the Discord side where we can communicate, you know, not just the mods, but anybody that wants to join. There's a mod section, only me and the mods talk. And then there's a section where there's other things set up inside there. We're going to try to set up different things for files, you know, and that way for anybody, let's say like he has his own YouTube channel. And if he needed to grab a file for a video thing for like video of the porch guy to show on his stream, then he can go pull it from there type deal. Anybody that's part of the Discord Discord section and all that stuff. We're just trying to work and think about all those different things. So, anybody wants to, the Discord, one of the mods will drop the Discord link here shortly, and you know, you can join it and the mods can let you in and all that different stuff. So appreciate all the hard work the mods throw out there. So make sure y'all give all them a great hand and thank them for being here and helping out. Yeah, it was a challenge, but you know, hey, we're gonna work through it. Right there's the link that Truth just posted is for the Discord server. And again, it's one of those things where anybody can come in if we vet you and know you and approve you and all that stuff. I don't remember how it's all set up, but you know, for the most part, we don't post a link in there private, into the Discord for like to come on here on the live stream, just because obviously people would find it over there and they'd go get it. But if you join the Discord server, it makes it a little bit easier, because then the mod can just send you a direct message and send you the link only, and that way it's not posted publicly. But it's it's hard trying to go through the emails and send a link via email and all that stuff. At some point, then, as you become a trusted partner and somebody that we all know and all that good stuff, then we'll do an email thing where we put you on an email, and if you're interested in coming on the stream, we just add you to the stream worthy people. I'm saying stream worthy as in the sense of you're willing to come on stream and we vetted you and we know who you are. And then that way we're only sending an email out with the link. So again, anybody wants to come on and chit chat, you don't have to turn on your camera if you don't want to. I understand some people, whether you don't want to, you have other people in your house or whatever the situation is, it's not required that you turn on your camera. For me, again, the mods are only going to send it to people that we have vetted and we know and all that stuff. So, Saban says, did y'all watch the crap from TMZ? Harvey claims to have spoken to the note writer. I have not clicked on it yet. I haven't watched it, but we heard it through Damien's stream today, 857 Tucson. He played it from the courthouse, but it was just the audio part. So do we need to go watch it? Y'all want to go watch it while we're waiting for some people to come in? Mary Dean, the comment right below you says the Discord link. If you just click that, it is a valid link. It goes to the Discord server. There you go. True sent it to you. Sent you her email. Email her that email address, and then she'll send you a link back. So, yeah, just don't put it out in public on the Discord server. Truth. Direct message the person. For anybody that's on the Discord server, just send, if they ask you, then you can send a direct message to them and give them the link. And that way, the people that we send it to that we trust, and we send it to them, and then still something happens, then we know something's not right. So hopefully that figures that out. Do we want to go see? It don't seem like the Harvey thing was, TMZ's deal today was too long, but I don't remember. Was it the Taylor Swift and Kelsey thing we wanted to watch? Oh, that's right. No, you're right. We don't. We're not interested. 11 hours ago, it's already had 47,000 views. Oh, it's 43 minutes long. That's the whole TMZ show. I guess I could skip through it. I have the ability to skip through it and go to sections. Because there is a bunch, looking at it, there's a bunch of Taylor Swift information. There's other things inside there. And I know some of you can probably get this information, but people did some YouTube channel stuff today and put out stuff, things we saw on video. We did see Monica Garcia there at the courthouse today. Wasn't she just lovely in her heels, let's say? Yeah. I got to be careful because Cheryl told me to be nice again. That's just wrong. I'm just telling y'all, that's just wrong what she did. It's nasty. Professional journalist. If that's the way professional journalist with an affiliated news organization acts and reacts and does. I mean, hell, did y'all see her chasing Kalella's mother out of the courthouse to catch up and get an interview? Now, what's different than what anybody else has done that she's reported on and got arrested for? I mean, am I wrong? And then, hello, Lily, Minnesota Nice. She clearly chased him down, and they said no comment to her. And they went over to the streamers and said, I hope that everyone involved gets the help they need. That is a statement to those streamers, more than what she said no comment to Monica Garcia. That is correct. To make sure we add that in, Strawberry Nani. The other streamers wished them well and hoped for their son to get help. And everyone involved was cordial and acknowledged each other. But they sure to hell ran from Monica Garcia. I spoke to Nancy Guthrie, letter writer, 13 minutes, 31 seconds, 9-ish hours ago. Second video from top. Or second video from... I got you. I'm on it. Thanks to your help. Make sure. Oh, hell, I'm sorry. I got Harvey still in quarter gear here. Let me put him in full speed, and then I'll change it over to where y'all can see it. There's nobody sitting there yet. Let me know when somebody comes in. Now, doing it this way, I would only have one person on the screen with me at the time to be able to finish this video. So when one person comes in, I should be able to see them, and we'll get them on the screen. I'm going to start this. I'll still be able to hear it. I'm going to run and get me some more tea, and damn, it scared me. There's something behind the wall over here. Okay, let me start this video. I'll let y'all start listening to this. I'm going to turn my camera off, run grab some tea, empty the teapot, and we're let her rip, Tater Chip. I can still hear. Don't be talking crap. I can still hear what y'all are saying, so here we go.
I called the FBI about a month ago, okay, and I said, look, I may be really naive here, and I don't know, but I keep asking you guys, is this guy a kook? Is he a fraudster? And you tell me you don't know, but you also say you're really trying to track him down. And, it's like you're not dismissing it. And I just got this feeling it might be true. So what if we do a documentary and we actually pay the Bitcoin into the account to trigger this and follow where it leads us? And obviously we'll work with you. So this was about a month ago. And the first reaction I got was, well, that's kind of interesting. Let us run it up the flagpole. And I called them back a couple of days later, and they said, we're still talking about it. And then I kind of got ghosted for almost a month. And I called back a half dozen times, and they never returned my call. And I just figured, okay.
When you say they didn't
FBI.
return the call, the FBI. So have you responded? Is this an interactive relationship, or are you not able to respond to what he said?
I can't respond, but we respond in a different sort of way, and I'll tell you in a minute. But let me just say, okay. A couple of days ago, the FBI did call me, and they said, well, look, they knew about what I had requested, and they said, look, we feel we're closer to finding this person. And they said this person might actually be a woman. And that's all they said. They didn't say why they thought that. But
that's interesting they said that, because if I was going to ask you if there was any indicia that this was a female.
He's using he uses a man's name.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
No, I know.
Right.
But then they said on the documentary thing to stand down, that they were working on it. And I said, fine. And so because there were these stories that had come out this week that, the second ransom note said that Nancy had died, it seems like that's what triggered this guy into
and so
sending
that
this.
we understand, this person did not tell you that Nancy is dead.
Well, he is essentially, he told us
He or
that.
she, it.
I'm going to call him he just because that's what we've.
That's the name.
He told us this early on. At one point, he said essentially, time is of the essence, and then in a follow-up email said, time is no longer of the essence. And
how early or how long after?
a week.
Disappearance?
A week.
Okay.
And so yeah, I mean, he has essentially told us over time
No snacks.
that she was dead. And again, we've been sending all of these to the FBI, and they have spent a lot of time with my IT team, a lot of time, and multiple FBI agents who have been trying to crack the code of both this guy's email and the first kidnapping note. They've spent a lot of time with our team. As far as I know, they were not able to crack it. I know that until a month ago, they certainly were not able to crack it. I don't know what they've done with this guy.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you.
This guy.
Thank you for joining us.
Remember when Savannah did that really tugs at your heartstrings, emotion laden?
Right.
Please bring us back. And there was two interpretations. One was she wanted the remains. The other, are people who wanted to be positive or think positively were interpreting it differently. Is this guy the one that you believe was saying that she's already gone?
No, the reason that Savannah, that's a really important point. There was the first ransom note said she was safe but scared. We received that, as did two Tucson television stations. The second note was only sent to one of the Tucson television stations. And what came out this week is in that second note, which was sent 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, don't feed the chat after midnight for sure.
It said she was dead. And
Jenny from
they
the
were
D.
basically saying,
Thanks for stopping in.
We didn't do it. She died. And it was that second ransom note from the kidnappers. We know both notes were written by the same people because it was the same, it had the same Bitcoin address for the ransom. So it was that second note that said she was dead. And yes, that
South Gal, thanks for being here.
I believe it was Saturday night is when Savannah came out with that really heart-wrenching statement where she said, bring us back, bring us to our mother so we can bring her home and celebrate. That felt to me back then like they knew she had died. When you say bring her back so we can celebrate.
The Bitcoin address given by notes 1 and number 2 only going to one station, is a different Bitcoin address than the Bitcoin address in this note that we're talking about today.
Yeah,
Hey,
and the reason we know that this note today is the same as is written by the same person is that the last one we received before this
dressed for the occasion.
The last one we received.
Make sure you got your jammers on
I'm
now.
not going to get in touch
These
with
ladies are
you
going
anymore.
crazy. I know.
I do have the clothes on, but
the Bitcoin
kind of chilling in my living room.
In this note,
lounge wear, if you will.
He says, I have a new Bitcoin address that you can send this money to.
Who?
And then he references the old one just to show.
Saban, is this the correct? Is this the correct video, Saban? Make sure I'm showing the right damn video. I don't want to sit here and listen to his ass if I don't have to.
Oh, Harvey.
Yeah, not that. Cheryl says, I missed her comment. By God, hold the brakes, y'all. Stop, dead stop. We got to go figure out what Cheryl said. I got to go find it.
Okay.
I've just been funny.
I actually couldn't hear the, can't hear the video through,
you
through
can't?
the stream here. Not through the stream. I probably can on my TV, but I'm sure it's going to have a delay.
What have I got the volume on? I got the volume on half.
Try to play it again.
Same guy. And we never published that Bitcoin address, and it is the exact same one.
Have you published any of these notes?
We
You can't
haven't
hear that?
published the notes in full. We've quoted from them.
No,
Have you even shown anything indicia
I can
of
hear
it?
you, but I can't hear.
No, we've never shown
Oh, well.
any of the notes, but we've
Well,
Oh,
shouldn't
let
we
me check and
show
make
a
sure
little
that.
bit of this?
well,
Let me
I
make
mean,
sure I've got that.
I've
I
read
think
a
I've
lot of
actually
this to
seen
you,
this
and you know
particular
when
video as
he
well.
says
Who is
he
the guy
says,
on the
look,
right
if
again?
you
I
send
remember
us
him well, but I
if
don't
you
remember
send
his name.
me the
Hell if I
Fitbit,
know.
that I will let you know where
He's like one of
this
those old
phone
school
is, and it's in a safe
lawyers or
location
something, I
that's
believe.
easily.
Could be. Or is everybody else hearing the Harvey and the other guy talking? Cheryl,
I
I
can
think I
hear it on
must.
my.
I can't find your comment, Cheryl.
I can hear it on my TV, so you should be good.
Okay. Let me keep going back up here. Because it's important. If Cheryl said it. Oh, Cheryl says, haha, she dresses like a 2-bit hooker and not the angler kind.
Oh,
You're not saying she's a master baiter, are you,
oh,
Cheryl? Damn it, Cheryl, you're going to get us all in trouble. You know that's going to hit somebody's stream tomorrow.
Can
I'm
they
sorry.
hear
I'm
me?
sorry I missed
The
that.
chat.
They should be able to. Cheryl let us know, huh?
She
Go
said
ahead.
she
What
can
you got,
hear it
man?
fine.
Is we can hear it here, but won't be able to hear it backstage. He's live in the stream. He just don't have his camera turned on, so he's up here on the screen with me. He's just a ghost today. Didn't have my readers on.
I can
Mark
unghost briefly.
Garay Ghosts. Thank you, Mary Dean. There you go. See, hey, wave to everybody. Let everybody know that you're a real person and all that good stuff. Everybody, this is Wee.
I'm
He goes by
alive.
Wayne. He goes by Wayne, but his real name is Wee Investigate. So
That's right. That's a little play on my name too, because my last name is Irwin with an E. So Wayne Irwin, we investigate. Oh, I see me on the TV now. All right, everybody knows I'm here. I've proved myself. Here's my hand.
yeah, I have it
That's
turned
black.
off, Minnesota. I have it paused for the moment. Saban, is this the video we're supposed to be watching for the TMZ? Because he was supposed to talk about. It says right there, the Nancy Guthrie letter writer talked to me. Did I click into the wrong one? Yeah, but you won't be able to hear whatever video you share on your stream backstage is what I'm meaning. Oh, he's live on the screen, so he's not backstage. So, okay, so let's hear what they say here. We're halfway there, so let's give it a minute and then build your thoughts up, Wayne, and we'll get ready to talk.
Gotcha.
Sorry, Minnesota.
Accessible if you
Two
are
angry
guided
men,
to
it
it. To me,
says.
that feels like a safe deposit box. And he says that that the phone is turned off, but I will lead you to that safe deposit box and give you the password so you can access the phone.
Hey,
So
South Gal.
that's what he says. Now,
So if
You what?
We're saying hey to South Gal.
Oh, I thought you said stop, Kev.
Nah.
So about this safe deposit box, now he's saying a safe deposit box. Earlier in the original statements, going back a couple of days, he said a secure location that's easily accessible if you know how to find it. Well, I mean, that was a generalized statement like it's over by a certain shade tree out in the middle of a pasture type thing that anybody could access as long as you knew how to find it. You know what I mean? But now he's saying a safety deposit box, like it's in a bank locked up in a vault that nobody can get to. And you know what I mean? So keep that in mind over the next couple of days as you're listening. If new notes come out, and see if it changes back to a secure location that's easily accessible type thing. So
Yeah, I think it's bogus.
Same as his fuck. I thought he meant that he actually spoke. We don't know. We haven't got there yet. So I don't know. Who knows? It takes a minute for Harvey to tell his story. So
this guy
Yes, it
is
does.
not, or woman is not a fraudster. And I think I said this to you once before, and I would hope
he must be a
people
TMZ
listen or
backer.
hear it. Why don't they just go to a lawyer and have the lawyer work
does
on
TMZ
a
stand for anyway?
contingency to
Hell if I know.
to broker the information, which then keeps the
Somebody
anonymity
tell us.
of the client and
Too many
allows the
something.
information to get wherever. You don't even have to rely on a Bitcoin. A lawyer can keep the money in a trust account pending
most extreme?
confirmation of the information or
I
the
don't know.
phone or whatever else it is. I don't know why they make it so
Most
cloak
zealous.
and dagger when there seems to be a rather simple way to navigate this.
That's actually a really interesting idea. And he certainly hasn't raised it. And one of the reasons he might not want to do that is if he's a fraudster.
Right. And so that's what tends to lead me to believe that the person is a fraudster, because otherwise, go to a lawyer who's got attorney-client privilege with you, who has a trust account that you can receive.
I'm just going to say, this is not what Damien played today at the courthouse. It was Harvey by himself discussing the talk. So, am I on the right video?
I'm not sure about that. You got a date on that one?
This one was 10 hours ago, so that would have put it right around court time. That's the only one I see. From TMZ. But yeah, this was 10 hours ago. But I swear when Damien played it at courthouse, it was just Harvey talking by himself. He didn't have someone else with him. So, oh, you're good, Saban. We were asking, we were curious, we want to know. So, let me see. Did we send out another link? Somebody else want to come on with us too? And I'll change it and take this off just because, we sort of already know this information. So, let me jump to a 6 box here. Wayne, you still up there?
I am still here.
Okay. Good deal. I didn't know if you're... There you are. Okay. So you're in spot 2. Let me check and see if they sent out a link and if there's somebody else sitting backstage, because I have to go through a whole different... I'm using the... no, it's just you. I'm using the Streamlabs tonight. And so it's definitely different than StreamYards. So I don't want to get off topic because I don't want people to start
leaving,
getting a little upset. Yeah.
Right.
I know that's what people are here for and they want to talk about it. And so if anybody else wants to come in and chat with us and talk about things, then
come on up. Nobody bites.
We got 4 more slots for people to come up and have a conversation and keep the entertainment. You do not have to have your camera on. Just as you guys see, We Investigates is sitting right here next to me. And so anybody else want to come in, get with the mods, they will give you the link and we'll have a great conversation. We had a great conversation going last night. It may not have been on the subject of what everyone likes, but we were having a great conversation.
Absolutely, we were. Are you talking about with Ted and Shibby?
Well, that was earlier on that one. I'm talking about last night. Yeah, about this time last night. Yeah, we had a full panel going at one time. We had all 6 spots filled, and me and a bunch of my lady friends, we're just hanging out and having a conversation. We were having a great conversation, and I sure hope some of them come back and join me. I hope I didn't scare them off too bad with the situation. But did I show y'all my damn hand? There's where we're at now.
Uh-oh.
It's trying to heal. I almost cut my damn hand off with a cable the other day. So
that's never good.
The
perp had a bad hand too. Can you tell us where you were?
Did they wear by chance, did they have like a diamond pinky ring and something like that?
As a matter of fact, they did.
Right.
Do you have
Hold on.
dark dye at your house for the mustache and the beard?
Yeah. Mary, can you email Truth Warrior? You're not seeing her links posted for some reason. Danica wants a link. Anybody else need a link? Get one of the mods, and they'll send you. They definitely will send you the link out to the Discord server, and you can join in there. And once you join the Discord server, then you can directly message them, and they can send you the link that way. Again, as long as it's somebody that we can vet and know that they're someone we trust. It's crazy. That's just the way things have got to be. Like I said, it's happened to me twice now, Wayne. Were you here the first? You were here the first night when it happened.
Yeah, your son. What was his name? Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb was there with you. Father's Day, the night before Father's Day, I believe. And we had True Crime Believer. And then I forget the girl's name from Arizona. She was on with us too.
Christine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Christine. Yeah. So Truth Warrior says, give her my email, GIMMETHESEEAWEED, which is give me the seaweed @gmail.com.
Yeah. Don't use an extra I like I did, or you'll have to go back in twice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, hey, it's one of those things where for us just learning this whole process and all that stuff, it does take a little bit to learn and get used to it and all that stuff. And as you get used to it and you learn and all that stuff, everything about it, the discussions, everything becomes much easier because, some people just, whenever I type stuff out and they read it on X, they interpret what I'm saying wrong. When I'm talking here and they can see me live on a camera, they can see what I'm saying and how I meant it when I say it, and whether my camera will focus. Let me turn off that damn autofocus again. I don't know how it comes back on. So it's just one of those things.
Though. I bet it makes a lot of good videos. It changes the zoom and the angles and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm learning that if I keep my damn hand still, it'll stay where it's supposed to. But last night, look, I was calling the people like this right here.
Right.
And it zoomed in last night. And if I tell it like this, it'll zoom in. Or if I tell it back, I guess because maybe it doesn't want to do nothing now. It does some shit when I want it to do something, it don't.
Right.
So, but yeah.
That's awesome. You can play around with that when you make some videos, and when you say something serious, have it zoom into your face and let somebody see
wow.
Your eyes.
Yeah.
Kind of like when they were showing JLR earlier with that face.
Yeah, that thing. There's some wild stuff, and I don't remember who it was earlier that made the comment on their trips and stuff like that. And I had a wild ass idea. Listen to me, chat. What do y'all think about this? Let's just say, and I know this is a lot of money and a lot of people, are going to be, hell no, I ain't paying, this. But let's say if JLR was to come up with a thing where you get to spend a week, I don't mean sleeping in the same damn motel and all that stuff, where he got a trip for, certain locations, like let's go out to Colorado and we'll go to the Rocky Mountains and visit Rocky Mountain National Park, and then go, the next day we'll go to this other place, and each day you have a hotel booked and all that stuff. And let's say it was, I don't know, $1,000, $2,500 a person for this thing. I know some of you would love to do something like that with JLR. I'm not talking about me going, y'all. I'm not talking about me, but again, I don't know what it's going to cost. I'm just throwing out numbers out there, pulling rabbits out my ass. But Wouldn't that be wild to go on a road trip with JLR? Let's say like on a small bus type van type deal where y'all all, get to go travel to those places and all that stuff. I know some of y'all would be like, hell yeah, I'm in, As big as
Absolutely.
JLR fans there is out there, there is people out there who would probably be willing to pay, and JLR
Oh,
books a
definitely.
block of rooms, 5, 7, 10 rooms, whatever it is for the amount of people he's got for, different things and all that stuff. And y'all do a road trip with JLR,
Oh, you'd
nothing
have to
about crime and all that stuff,
bring the streamers with you as well,
Right. I mean, exactly. It's one of those things where, let's say JLR, Ted, and Alex, Damien, if he's available, y'all get to do a true crime road trip, and maybe they could set it up to where they go to these true crime locations and stuff like that, and y'all get to stream and see it and all that stuff. I mean, it's just a thought in my head that I think,
I would be there.
we may
And
pitch it out there to JLR, because if he puts together the logistics of it, he has some great and amazing followers, and people come over here and get to see me too, get to see you,
right.
and so it's one of those things where I know
First
people would
stop
be.
is Tucson.
Yeah, I mean, and let him take y'all there. You may not be able to get out and stand at Nancy's house type thing, but he can at least drive by on a
Drive by
guided
there, yep.
tour, and take people
What
by
are they
the
gonna
actual
do?
scene.
Cite the whole bus or arrest the whole bus full of people? I
Right. I
don't
mean,
think so.
it's one of those things where, yeah, there you go. Saban says his Stanley Hotel stream was actually fun. So places like that, the Stanley Hotel, maybe y'all can go to multiple damn haunted hotels,
absolutely.
or things like that. I think it would be a neat thing.
Did you see him get the truck driver stuck in the snow? Him and DGL.
I remember something about it. True says, how many do you want on the panel at one time tonight? We got up to 6 slots, so 6 people can be on there. You know, it doesn't matter if we have 6 people that want to join in. That send them the link.
Yeah, I can always drop down too. If I need
No,
to do that.
I mean, it shouldn't be a thing where anybody has to drop. I don't know how many people that want to come on and stuff like that. If we get to that point, we may consider it if you wanted to drop out or something like that. But there's no rush to leave. It's a hangout deal, and
Right.
and people getting used to knowing you, and people who may not have interacted with you yet. So
Yeah, and it gets easier too. And I appreciate you having me on for so long the last time, and then anybody that
anybody's
hasn't
welcome,
came
man.
up yet. Yeah, you kind of get a little bit nervous the first time. You might even get a little sweat on your forehead or something like that. But I mean, I've been on
Me?
857 now. I've been on JLR. Well, I did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's when I talked to Adam at Patriot Pride, man, I was like, whoo! It felt like a lot of pressure. It was like one of my first ones. But
Oh,
after you do
yeah.
it a few times, you start, like you were talking about, you start to get more comfortable and
Yeah, I mean,
relaxed, and you're like,
it's sort of nothing to do it now. Not that I expect Fox News to call me tomorrow and go on live TV and me do that or something like that. But even
I would
as
pay
big
to
as
see that.
JLR's, even as big as JLR's platform is, it's one of those things where I don't have no problem going on there now. Y'all know I don't have no problem telling people how I feel about shit. So
Right, right.
it's just
Oh,
one
and
of
y'all
those
did
things where
good interviewing the guy from Jordan, Zach. You were
yeah,
there with JLR, and yeah, y'all did good with that, man. The way y'all
yeah. I
both
mean,
kind of went about the questions at the same time and that type of thing, and y'all did good together.
yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, again, I'm not a
Here's somebody.
reporter style interviewer. I'm just a guy who watches, and you may catch me, especially whenever somebody's on the stream or something like that. You'll see me paying attention to them and looking at them, watching their body language and all that stuff. Not that I'm a body language expert, but I mean, I'm still watching somebody to see if I can pick up any clues or get a vibe for someone type deal. So
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can tell so much. Hey,
yeah.
good. How you doing?
Is it? Do we have somebody on?
Yeah.
Ladybug, let me click on here. Sorry. How did you see her? And I don't understand that. I'm the one in control of the damn back room, and I can't even see people.
I don't see
Are
her.
you?
I just hear her.
Oh, see, I don't hear her because I haven't hit the button to show her on. You ready? Sorry, you're on live. Sorry,
Okay,
I hit the
that's
button
fine.
straight up. I knew you would be. I just want to make sure.
making sure my video was working over here.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
see the video yet because I got it on my TV, so there's a delay. But I'm
oh,
sure
you're
she'll pop
watching
up.
it? Yeah.
I've had
Yeah.
a long day, so I just wanted to say hey and speak to everybody and see how.
Well, you
what
act
they
like
thought
you was
about
up all
today
damn night
too.
or something.
I know, right? We had a really good time.
We were having a blast last night, you know. And look, I called in reinforcements because I was being surrounded by all you ladies, and so I got Wayne here with me tonight to help out.
I'm here.
He'll be able to throw some elbows and
I'm
get y'all
not
out.
afraid to turn the video on if I need to.
I look rough.
That'll run you off.
Shit, we all rough, but this is how you get it.
Boy.
You either take it or you leave it. Connie
right.
says
Right.
Connie says I suggested the streamers and followers rent a party bus to drop them off for a walk down Nancy Street, drop off in front of Sue Ellen's, then have the bus pick them up. I mean, as long as they're not blocking the road when a car comes, right? I don't see why it wouldn't be, you know. I think it's a good idea. If I had the ability to be able to go and do it and all that good stuff, hell, I'd be right there. I mean, I'm throwing out the suggestion. Y'all write it down when it happens that the Kev man is the one who said JLR needs to start doing some
I would take my phone. I wouldn't sit still on the side of the road in front of her house, but I would walk it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's still it would definitely be interesting.
As long as you
It'd
behave.
be a nice payday if they did come out and try to arrest somebody.
Right.
As long as you behave and not act out and be crazy or anything, I don't see nothing at all wrong with it.
Strawberry says Wayne's not saving you.
Not disturb the peace, that type of thing. Yeah, you got a First Amendment right to be out there. And if they violate that right, then boy, howdy. You can take them to court, and you're talking at least a 6-figure payday for that. And I think they know that. That's why the charges are going away now.
That stuff was crazy.
Give me 1 second here. Let me repeat this email
crazy.
here.
Captain
Kevin,
if anybody wants to come up, let me know and I will get down. I don't want to take nobody's spot. So
you're in slot 3. When they come in, they'd be in slot 4. That means you're here first.
If anybody wants to come up though, that's fine. I'll get down.
We got plenty of spaces for right now.
Okay.
I don't
want to
let me go back.
Please hang.
Let me go copy.
By the way.
Oh, hey, Ladybug, right?
Yes.